All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Friday, May 16th, right here on your daily fix for all things Texas Longhorns. I'm Tanner Carlson. That is Jake Jimerson. This is presented to you by Rogue Sports Network, and this is All In Horns. Today's episode, the ladies get the premier spot as today's talking point as regionals have begun in college softball, and the Texas Longhorns are your 6th seed, and they will be taking on Eastern Illinois around 3:30 this afternoon. And so we're going to not necessarily break down that game, but we are going to break down the regional situation that the Longhorns find themselves in, what we need to see from them taking on Eastern Illinois, also to avoid elimination. And just honestly, for those who don't really know how softball regionals work, I got some rules and formatting, underlaying conditions to go over with you all, because quite frankly, I needed a little bit of a refresher course. I'm not going to say that I'm some softball expert and go ahead and watch regionals each and every single year. But we do have a double elimination format that the Longhorns need to get through. And they are in a region where they have the home stand, where they are the 1 seed. You got Michigan as the 2 seed, UCF, Central Florida out of the Big 12. Is the 3 seed, and then the 4 seed is that Eastern Illinois team, home of Tony Romo, by the way. So shout out, look, had to make the Tony Romo reference. I saw that first thing I thought of when I saw Eastern Illinois. I was like, oh, that's the only player. And Garoppolo, Jimmy Garoppolo and Tony Romo.
Yeah, and the only reason I knew about Jimmy Garoppolo going there was because everyone's like, whoa, 2 quarterbacks from this school that are going to be pros.
More pros than A&M has produced at the quarterback position.
Maybe they've produced more, but more starters at least.
Yeah. Well, you got Ryan Tannehill, and I don't know another quarterback I could name you.
Yeah, I mean Manziel technically he was pro. He did start. Kyle. I mean, they have some guys who are drafted as like backups, but
Stephen McGee, baby.
Oh God! Don't remind me.
Jake, you're battling some allergies over there, by the way, if people notice.
Yeah, that's why my eyes are watering, and I've had a Kleenex.
This isn't a Pardon My Bake episode, just so everybody knows. This is Jake with allergies.
No, this is just me with allergies kicking my butt. That's all. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it.
All right, Jake. Texas, we can't go over the stats. Nearly every statistical category, Texas is better than Eastern Illinois in this game. So there's really no need to like break it down on a stat by stat basis. But this is a one of the bigger get right games, Jake, for Texas. I would say, like, it's good to come out, look good, feel good, get your swings right, get your pitches right, get your fielding right, and kind of just get right from top to bottom of this coaching staff and from the roster.
This is the time for the bats to figure it out consistently. The problem is the bats haven't been an issue against lesser teams. They've only been an issue against those better teams. But I will say the defense has kind of been a little bit down in the last several weeks. The A&M game, the Ole Miss game, they gave up a good amount of runs. The A&M game was just a disaster.
Yeah.
Period.
I'd like to erase that from my memory.
Even the Kentucky series, the OU series, that they were giving up a lot more runs than they were, even in going back to that Tennessee series. That was kind of the last time they held a team to, felt like, really low amount of runs, just didn't score a lot of runs during that. And so, the bat's getting right, but I'd like to see them, get some shutouts, again, especially in this regional where they should be able to dominate everyone they play. I mean, this first game should be a run roll. Yep. No question about it. And so we'll kind of see if this team can maybe feel a little bit of momentum going into the Super. I just feel like they haven't had any momentum in like a month. And so this is their chance to finally get some positive momentum before, things get real, because the Super Regionals are going to be no cakewalk as long as they can get there.
And they would line up so essentially this tournament style double elimination within the regionals. Okay. And so whoever comes out and wins the regional, and you have to win the regional, will play the winner of your competing region, which would actually be Tennessee's region, Jake. So Texas gets out of the regionals. They're more than likely, hypothetically, favored to play against the Tennessee team who they lost their first SEC series to in the regular season.
And at home. So, being at home, not necessarily making you feel like they have a big advantage in that. I think Tennessee would probably be a popular pick to come out of that region. And so the best way to make sure that you're ready to beat a team like that is to have as good of vibes, as good a momentum as you can going into it, because baseball and softball are very, very much mental as much as physical sports, where the vibes, the momentum of the sport, the feeling like of confidence when you're at the plate is really important. And so they need to be feeling as good as possible going into that super regional and then potentially a Women's College World Series. Because the bottom line is you protect your home field, you go to the Women's College World Series.
Correct.
And that's what they need to do. But that's not going to be an easy task because you got to take care of your business in the regional. And then, you'll very likely have Tennessee coming in for your super regional. And that, as we have already seen this year, is not going to just be a simple win.
No, that Tennessee team, however, no matter how many teams that they have kind of stumbled across and when they're playing their best, and they also match up really well against Texas. They've got one of the better pitching staffs in the SEC. They have one of the highest rating ERAs from their pitchers in the conference and in the country entirely. And so when Texas doesn't have the best bats to go and combat the great pitching that Tennessee has, and I know we're talking more so super regionals than we are regionals again, Texas should walk through these regionals as a kind of get right stretch of games for them to prepare themselves for super regionals. And that's just, again, when you're preseason ranked number one, getting out of regionals shouldn't really be a question or a concern if you're a fan base. It really should be, let's get to super regionals and then we'll really start playing some legit softball at that point. And so but yeah, Tennessee's just not a great matchup for Texas. And so it is crucial for these next 3 games for Texas in the regionals to come out with wins and come out with getting batters on base, not leaving them stranded, bringing them home, coming up with big hits when you need to. I'm not saying they're just going to run rule everybody, but it's an important stretch of games to kind of get that feeling from your bats, feeling right, or at least, getting to a point to where you're feeling confident going into that super regional round.
Yeah. There's not much of a point of us sitting here and trying to preview the regional in depth. There just isn't. Because like you said, it should be a cakewalk for Tech. Dropping a single game would be a complete disappointment.
Yeah.
A complete disappointment. Losing in the regional would be
a failure.
Bring some outlandish talks on this podcast of firing a coach that has taken them to national championships recently. I would feel so outraged if we recorded right after that. And so, yeah, for me, this is, like you said, it's just all about getting right, giving yourself the best chance, to show what you were capable of, that you showed earlier on in the season that really just has not been there the last month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Jake, let's go ahead and switch. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of a prediction. I think everybody knows what our prediction is going to be, but I've got Texas run ruling Eastern Illinois and winning this game handedly, at least for game number 1 within the region.
Yeah, I would expect this game to be over after the first. I know you can't run roll them in the first inning, but I would expect this to be over after the first inning. Essentially,
I will say the first 3 innings. I'll say Texas gets the run roll within the first 3 innings.
Well, I think the 4th or 5th inning is the first inning you can actually run roll.
Right, I'm saying they'll have the score, the 10 runs.
Oh yeah. I want that after the 2nd inning.
Yeah,
that's how much
I got from you that you were saying that in the first inning. I was like, "Ooh!"
Oh no, I want this to be like 6-0 after the first inning. Like the game is put away.
Yeah.
After the first, essentially, and then you secure that run roll in that 2nd or 3rd inning. But yeah, I expect Texas to sweep through this regional and not really have an issue. I would be very concerned if they have any issues in this regional. I will be picking them to get swept against Tennessee
Well,
in
and
the Super.
granted, if Michigan gives them a little bit of a hiccup here and there, and they have to go 7 innings and they beat Michigan by 2 or 3 runs, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I have very high standards for the softball team, probably a little too high, but I would love to see them just.
I think my expectations have actually kind of tempered down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if I go with my expectations based off the softball they've been playing recently, then yeah, I could see them having a close game or two in this regional. But I really hope that's not the case because I want to see them show that they're, maybe have a chance to compete
Also,
at a World Series level.
How great is it to get out of SEC play for a little bit, Jake?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest. Now, granted, you go right back into it in the super regional, but to get that little break, maybe what they need to to get everything going. They have enough talent where if they get the momentum swing in the right way, they can go on a run and beat anyone in the nation. But they're gonna have. I mean, they're a long way from doing that right now, and it all starts with dominating in this regional, not just winning it, but dominating it.
Yep. All right, Jake. Hey, last topic of conversation before we log off today. I wanted to save a little bit of time and a window slot for the announcement of a week 1 schedule for football season. Texas taking on Ohio State in the big noon kickoff on Fox. Maybe we get Gus Johnson. That will be my only shining light for that game, is getting a Gus Johnson broadcasted game. But I will say, man, disappointment that it's a noon game.
Yeah, well, hopefully not Gus Johnson from last year, where
True.
it felt like someone shot his dog before every single game.
And touchdown Michigan.
It was like someone told him to amp it down. And he was like, just in spite of them, was just like, fine, I'm gonna be dead.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest commentating shift I've ever seen in broadcasting history. If you're an Ohio State fan, you gotta hate Fox. Every single one of their games is at noon.
Yep.
From a Texas playing this game standpoint, I'm glad it's at noon,
Sure.
or 11 for us, compared to being a night game where it's going to be a much more hostile environment and everything just be amped up a little, especially when you consider how young our team is going to be.
I agree strategically with you, but man, I hate it as a viewing experience.
Oh, I hate it as a fan of college football. I hate it. I don't understand. I mean, I get it from the network stuff. I mean, Josh Pate did a good job of explaining that during last year. But there's got to be a way to stop having all these, because it's not just Texas, Ohio State. There's a ton of big games that are in their, reasoning is you don't want to compete against ESPN and SEC in that 7:00 time slot. And it has kind of worked out for them ratings wise. So we are rewarding it at the end of the day because I'm a junkie and I'm going to watch whatever big noon game there is.
And I don't mind because you do get a big noon game. You typically get a big 3:30 o'clock game, and then you get a big night game, typically more times than not throughout the regular season. And so it is kind of nice to have your games spread out throughout the day to where you've got something to watch. But man, I'll tell you what, for Ohio State to solely exclusively be at noon is frustrating.
Yeah, if I was an Ohio State fan, I would, and I know they are pissed. I mean, I see them furious about it.
I don't even like Ohio State, and I'm saying that.
Yeah, I can't blame them. They have a right to be mad about this because it's got to be frustrating when you have these big. I mean, the Ohio State Michigan game is always at 11, that's a game that'd be fun to see at night. And so you just never see. I mean, seeing Ohio State and Oregon at night last year was weird. It was like, oh my god, there's a night game.
Yeah,
and it's a big matchup. So it's lame from a college football landscape perspective. From a strategical perspective for Texas, I love it.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one, Jake. Speaking of scheduling stuff, I don't know if this was just a rumor that I heard being floated out there. I don't know if you've heard the same thing. You tell me if I'm just reading Facebook news or not, but Texas and OU being moved up maybe even a little bit to like a 5:30 time slot.
The Texas OU being moved
moved
Even
even further into like a 5:30 time slot. Again, I don't know if that's just rumor, but I do think they are for sure locked in at that 3:30 spot. I think they really like that spot.
I think it's going to be a night game within the next 5 years. I think they're going to test it. And I think the scenes from that, I know there are a lot of people don't like it. And I get it. But man,
I want 1 year. I want 1 year just to test it out, test the waters.
Also the view of the state fair and everything. Oh, it will be epic. But
you're gonna get Ferris wheels lit up and rides going and stuff. I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, I would be shocked if that isn't a night game here at some point in the next several years. I haven't seen anything yet about that moving, but it wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
I think they're just going to keep inching it until it starts at night.
And it might be one of those GTA 6 news things where it's just like GTA 6 map, look at this. And then it's like, okay, I've seen 5 different types of maps that you released. So I don't know if I can necessarily fully buy into it yet, but I do think that it's kind of one of those things where it's on the horizon where enough pressure is going to build up to where the SEC is going to move that to a night game, at least to test the waters for it. So, all right, Jake, well, that's today's episode. Let's go ahead and put a bow on this thing, wrap things up. And yeah, again, Texas softball, take care of business this weekend. We'll get in more in-depth talk, hopefully, come Super Regionals. That's Jake Jimerson. I'm Tanner Carlson. This has been your daily fix for all things Texas Longhorns right here on All In Horns. Like, share, and subscribe. We release these episodes 5 days a week, dropping at noon each and every single day. So put your alerts on, set your alarm, whatever you got to do. Know that we are going to be dropping fire throughout the summer into football season, and we'll get you the best content we possibly can for your Texas Longhorns. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, hook 'em.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.